What's up, guys? Welcome back. So, since the last episode, I've been working on getting some of the essentials automated, the easy stuff like cobblestone and sand, gravel, glass, all that good stuff. So down here, the first thing I could show you is just this generator. I went ahead and got rid of it, and I replaced it with this diamond block generator. So this thing makes a lot more cobblestone, and I just hooked it to a compact ring drawer. So now we have what, the 2 times cobblestone in there, and then I just have this linked to that drawer. I had to increase this range though on this drawer. I think I just put a bronze in there. Why is it? There we go. So copper upgrade. So I just put that in there so it would be far enough so I can get that drawer in there. So anyway, that's hooked to applied energistics. So once I got that in there, what we can do is actually grind down the cobblestone in its compacted forms. So just because that drawer goes up to 2 times, I didn't want to put it through another drawer right now anyway. But over here I have some furnaces and some crushers. So like this crusher here, I just have it going through the bottom one first. So we're taking the 2 times cobblestone and making 2 times gravel, and then it can pop up here, and then we can get sand out of it from this guy. So I'm just using these pattern providers. It pushes it in. Of course, on the crusher, I have the input set to the back, and then the output, well, on this one, the output is on the right side. So I'm just piping the finished stuff out of it. So I'm just using Ender IO conduits, and I'm just extracting, always active, and that goes back into the pattern provider. So that's what we're doing over here. And then this guy over here, the smelting factory, the top one doesn't do anything yet, but this bottom one, I just have one recipe in there to actually smelt the 2 times glass. And then I have recipes over there that will break that glass down in all the way to single pieces. So there's a couple crafting patterns in here. So all that stuff is now automated. What I wanted to work on first though was automating the power stuff, like this stuff, because I'm still struggling with power. I definitely need to get these things maxed out. So automating this would be amazing. I already built kind of a room here. I'm kind of changing the way things look. This is the style I normally go with, not this wood stuff. So yeah, this looks better. But anyway, so in here, I already ran cable. I have the AE conduit coming up, and then we're gonna have POWAH cable coming over here. I thought about running it all the way around the room, but we're probably not going to do this. And this is also just a starter cable, so we'll have to upgrade this kind of as we go. So maybe if we put it like this, we can, yeah, I think that'll be fine. And then we can just put our rods down on top of this, because I want to be able to get in here, and the door being right here. Yeah, we'll try that. How many is on this? 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side, 4 on that side. Okay. Well, at least it's even. So I have a bunch of those. I need to get those on the cable. You know, I might run them along the top too here eventually. I'll have to make some more. That's all I have. But that's a good bit for now. What, 8, 9, 10, 11? 11 of those things. So that should be good to start with. And then conduit. I don't know how I'm going to do this exactly. We'll put the energizing orb here in the center. I think I want to grab an import bus because we can filter the import bus. I don't know if this is going to... No, I don't want you like that. I want you here. I believe I can filter this where it will only pull out certain items, but I'm not sure if a pattern provider will actually push stuff into here the way I want it to. Because I can't put it all in there. It has to... I guess we could just try it. And that's not where I want it either. Of course, maybe No, it doesn't look all that great there. We'll just put it there, and hopefully this works. So I'll have to make a pattern. And what's the first thing? So the first thing is the energized steel. I put this on processing pattern, and we want this. Can we do that? Encode pattern. And another thing I'm going to have to do is steel. I have 50 in there, but maybe I need to set this probably up with steel also, or to make steel. Okay, so we have that pattern. I need to hook this junk up though. Okay, it's all hooked up. Everything's good. We have the channels over here. This is probably not going to work, but I'm going to put the pattern in there, and I feel like I'm going to have to change something here. Blocking mode. I don't know. Well, and then over here, I need to put this in here. So I just wanted to import energized steel. Hopefully that's all I have to do. I guess we're about to find out. So if we go over here and look up energized steel, I do have 14. We click this and just, let's say 10. Next, start, and we're gonna go over here. Oh yeah, okay, so that's not gonna work. Hey, I put it in though, that's a start. So I changed this to blocking mode, so we'll see if that does it. I'm really hoping that's going to do it. This is probably still trying to craft. Cancel that craft. Okay. We'll go over here and try this again. This, energized steel, let's say 10, start. And I see stuff. Oh, I think it's working. It's working. Oh, that's amazing. It's working flawlessly. That's great. So now I'm going to have to make patterns for the rest of this stuff, like the blazing crystal, which is, I guess, yeah, we'll just use 4 blaze powder. So that's going to speed things up quite a bit. So I have the blazing crystal in there. I went ahead and made patterns to make the neotic crystal. And so I just need to set this to where it will pull those out of here once they're done. That's good to go. So now what I need to do is just kind of slowly, like I said, we're using the starter cable here, which is not the greatest. Same thing with the energizing rods. We're using the starter ones of those, so it would be much better if we could upgrade those first before anything else. Or maybe upgrade those at the same time I'm upgrading all these. Because it's going to take a lot of power just to make those pieces. And this produces only 60 FE. That's the basic one though. There should be a hardened one. There we go. So this one, I mean, it still only generates 100, so that's not all that great. If we look at some of the other ones, the thermo, that one generates 2000. So really, that's kind of where I need to be. I have all the different tiers of power cable in here, except this last one. It needs, I think that needed nether stars to make that, which we don't quite have nether stars. I wonder how terrible it would be for the system to craft the spirited stuff. If we do this and say, I don't know if I want to do 20. Let's just do 10. Let's start with that. Start and see if it does stuff. Okay, so it is doing stuff. This is probably going to drain the power. We need to get power storage. I was thinking maybe put power storage on that wall over there. So everything seems to be working fine. I'm going to let this do its thing. Well, I have 12 of the spirited energy cable. That took forever to craft because I don't have the power to support it. But I think Well, you know, probably the best thing to do is actually upgrade these and then start running the cable this direction. And I was looking at the transfer rate of this cable compared to Ender IO. And I'm thinking maybe the POWAH stuff maybe does more. I'm not too sure what the Ender IO unit is there. That's interesting. But, and then I was thinking down there we can put the power storage. The first power storage anyway. We'll just shove it in this hole and make this big thing a power storage unit. I am very quickly filling up the 8 channels on this line. That is another thing we need to do here very soon, is get into P2P tunnels, because all these things are full. I just started on this one. I have this kind of stuff automated because I'm making a lot of these AE parts over there and putting them over there. So I really need to automate all the applied energistics stuff too, but really power is is the main thing. But if we look at this, so I think we need to start, we'll start with the energy cell, the starter one, and then I'll just go ahead and put all these in, probably even up to nitro, even though we can't make it quite yet. So like this one, we should be able to make all this stuff. So this, we can encode the starter and then the basic. And what I want to do is we'll just make up to the spirited, because we can actually make that one. We'll just make a whole bunch of these. I think if we just kind of put them all next to each other, maybe that will work. There's blazing. And then neotic, encode that one, and then the last one, spirited. And I guess go ahead and do nitro. There's the nitro one. And that should have been in there. I thought I encoded that. Yeah, it's showing that it's in there. What's the creative one take? 4 nitro cells and an all the mod star. Okay. Well, we'll just take all these patterns and put these in. And hopefully... No, they're not all gonna fit. Okay, let's take this one out for now. Throw you in there. Really, I'd like to divide those up a little bit, but it'll be okay. So if we just look in here, what are they called? Energy cells. So this one, spirited. Can I hit next? Partial plan, missing ingredients. I'm missing 4 gold. I'm missing that much iron? There's no way. Iron. How much iron is that going to take? Really? Energy cell. Spirited energy cell. Next. It's really going to take that much iron? I guess it does take quite a bit, doesn't it? Okay, well, that leads us into the next thing, I guess. Okay, so what I'm about to do is not the most efficient by any means, but it's okay. I'm just checking. Okay, so there's 3 of 8 channels on this line, and then this goes... It goes straight into the controller, so we do have room still. What I think I'm going to do, and I might set these bunch of smelting factories up down there. This is only like tier 1 or 2, basically, so... We're going to turn auto sort on. And then on the side of this, can we put an export bus right here? Yeah, we'll put an export bus there, and then we'll just put, can we put a smart cable on there? Is that going to work? And then this, I just want to tell it to export iron ore. And then in this, the back side needs to be input. Okay, so that's working. Okay, so it's filling it up with iron. I know we could do all kinds of stuff to this to make more, but I'd rather just... This is kind of like a product that I don't want here pretty soon, because once we have those gears set up, we're not gonna... I don't want to mess with this too much. So that's going to give us iron, and then we need to pull it out of there. Can I just hook it into this cable? This extract, always active. And go into this and make sure that the left side is an output. Okay, so I did that. So it shouldn't take it too long, especially if we upgrade this factory and put all these in there. So then I can put the gold in there also. Once it's done the iron, it'll do the gold, and once it's caught up, then it shouldn't have any issues staying caught up. And speaking of the geo shards, I went ahead and put some molten iron in there. We might as well go ahead and make it. So I'll pour that in there. I need to just make gold also. I noticed our redstone drawer up there is completely packed full. So we have tons of redstone, which that didn't take long at all. It would be great to have an iron one going because we're pretty low on iron and gold, both. So maybe I can just move this drawer and swap it out with iron. Oops, nope, I don't want to do that. Give me the drawer. Okay, there we go. We got the drawer. So then we can put this down here for now. And then I can switch this one out to iron. So put this here. And then inside of this, or no, I need another drawer with a iron geoshard, right? If we look at iron, I'm pretty sure I have a couple here. There's that one. So we should be able to put this on here and put this there, and hopefully that does the thing. Yeah, there we go. That works. I've decided, since I don't quite still have enough iron, I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to make the spirited thermo generator. It seems like I got enough stuff and things to do that. It looks like I possibly could. Why is it not working? Is there something going on over here? Maybe there's not enough crafting storage for that one. Might have to add more next. Yeah, I'm gonna have to add more CPUs, I think. We'll see if adding another 1K crafting storage to it will help. I hope so. Go in here and try one more time. What was it? No, it was the spirited. This next. Okay, start. Oh, that was the problem there. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, but this will be good too. Because this will actually give us the power. If we do the storage, we still don't have generators to actually fill the storage. So this is probably the best way anyway. I've been working on the POWAH stuff for quite a while now. In here, well, actually well, between here and the generators, I have upgraded to spirited cable. I got a few of these upgraded to neotic tier, the energizing rods, just to make things faster. It's quite a bit faster. And then up here, I went through and ended up making quite a few of the spirited thermo generators. So I have mostly the spirited. I think I have, what, 2 more basics and a hardened left to replace up here. Other than that, each one is producing, it generates 800 FE a tick. So that's much better than what we had. And then I was also able to, oh, those things. I was also able to make a spirited energy cell, which took quite a lot of stuff, but it's there. And that thing holds a ton of power. So that's pretty amazing there. So we have storage. You can see I got the cabling run all the way down and going up to the top. What I've been working on, though, is the applied energistic system. So I have a dense cable down here, and I'm getting it ready to plug in basically to our controller for P2P tunnels. So I went ahead and made 4 tunnels. We're gonna need more, but the cabling is getting kind of messy. So this cable will come out. Yeah, I want to hook up this stuff down here though. So let's see, let's get up there. So I'll have eight on this side. Well, 8 and then 8 another row up there. And then we need to bring the cable up through here, possibly. We'll just come up right through there. That should work. So we'll bring a tunnel up to here, and then that tunnel will run 1632 of those auto crafters. So I just wanted to make a spot for that. And then I have regular Fluix cable. Really, I probably don't need the dense cable, but this cable is going to run the whole length of the base, and we have a whole bunch more down there to hook the channels and stuff. So I figure I'll just run the dense cable for now. So we're going to have to unhook the system. So that's going to stop everything for right now. And we can't actually get into the system at the moment either. So that's a thing. But what I want to do is all this stuff up here is going to be tunnels hooked to the back of that. Let's get rid of these blocks. The tunnels need to come off of that. And let's go ahead and get rid of these cables too. We don't need them. Really, this whole cable over here just kind of needs to go, but I can get that later. So I need tunnels up there. Let's bust this one. We're going to have to bring another controller down. Now we don't want it connected with channels, so we can put this just to transfer power. So no channels will go through there. And we could, I guess we could use that Fluix cable, and then we're going to put, actually, maybe I should I'll bring it down one more. Yeah, that should put it where it needs to be. Okay, and then the controller is going to go right here. So it should be powered. Yeah, we're powered. That's good. So now what I need to do is, what happened there? How come that's off? Oh, because the power is coming from that line. Okay. That might be a slight issue. Let me see if I can get power to there. Well, really, if we just put this here, we could connect this controller temporarily like this, and then can we just go, I really don't want to use, we can use this will be fine. That should at least give it power. There won't be any channels going through here, so we still can't use anything. Okay, so we have power. That's good. So then we can go up there and grab, we'll just do one tunnel. Start, so we can go over here so we have auto crafting. Of course, I need to do 2 tunnels so I can actually use my terminal. So over here, we could put, is it 7, 8 tunnels on a line? I figure we could go down this way, but we'll start with tunnels down here. Like that. This cable is a little close, but it shouldn't connect. So if we go here, here, and then bring this down, we'll just plug it into the back of this controller. So we have 2 tunnels on that side. So now we can put the 2 tunnels on this side. Probably should make some cable anchors so these don't touch. So they can't touch. So I'm very confused about something. I come up here to make anchors and made anchors and realized, how in the world is my system even working? Like, I don't get it. Because it shouldn't be connected to the controller at all. Like, this is the end of the cable. And I have that there that should only transfer power. Somehow I'm getting channels. I don't know. Maybe I must be missing something. I don't know. So anyway, we're going to pop this on there and get this cable coming out of the controller. So now it is not touching. We don't want it to touch. And then I need to run this all the way over into this hole here. So I'm not going to have enough cable, is what it's going to be. So the way it looks to me, the controller is completely unpowered now, and we still have a storage system. So I always thought you had to have a controller for the storage system to even work, but that's not a thing. So I have the cable ran all the way over here. We have 2 tunnels up there on the controller, and it's taking 2 channels. Plug this plug this back in for now. And you right here. Okay. So that should start getting power again. So the first tunnel I want to take off of here is actually to run our system. So we have auto crafting. We can come out. Let's just come straight out this way. Like this, a couple blocks. Get rid of you. And then put the tunnel on the end here. Grab our... Where's that stuff? Quartz fiber. That'll run power around. Put this into here. And then we need to wrap this cable around. So there's power transfer. Because the tunnel won't transfer power. So now what we need to do is get a memory card. And can I reach one of these tunnels? And we shouldn't have auto crafting right now. So if we shift right click and then right click, the tunnels should be linked together. We should be good to go. So now this tunnel should have 32 channels coming out of it. So then we can do the same thing over on this side. Bring this one up. And then we'll put a tunnel on the end of it. Like that. And then come over here and we'll have to link those two tunnels. So here. And then we can go over here and right click. So it should be, those should be linked. And then we could come out of this one with a dense cable. I don't think, I'm not going to be able to make a dense cable because of auto crafting. So maybe I don't need to wrap power around. With everything staying powered. I don't know how. That things have changed since I last used Applied Energistics, but I stole some dense cable from down there, brought the dense cable up. So now, because we have the tunnels hooked up over here, each face of these controller blocks will give out 32 channels. So then we're putting 32 into this tunnel, and that is using one channel to bring it over to here and outputting 32 channels. So now we have 32 right here that we can use. This will take 8. And then our other groups, that should max this dense cable out. So if we look over here, we should have our auto crafting now. Like if we look up thermo generator and we'll say this one, I don't know if we don't have enough. We need more iron ingots. So I've been smelting that stuff down, but auto crafting seems to be working. What if we just go like this? I'll know I'll use them. Next, start. Let's see if it's actually going to work. And it seems to be working. You can see how smooth that is now, upgrading all the power stuff. So that is awesome. So now I'm just going to have to spend some time redoing a bunch of cabling and all that good stuff. I'm hoping next episode we can set one of these Geor farms up, because that would help a ton. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.